Hey, Alexandra.
Hi, Michaela. I mean, Suze is such a sweet movie. I just love it. How how did
Really?
yeah, I want to watch it a few more times. It was that good.
That makes me so happy. That makes me so, so happy because I actually love it too.
I don't know anyone who didn't, but I want to know, how did you get attached to this film?
Um, Attached is such a funny word because it means so many things and they're all true. I was attached to it from the beginning because, not from the beginning, I should say that the film was greenlit and then it was dropped in my lap by a coworker, well, Catherine Reitman, who had that show Working Moms. Lindsay, one of the writers, it's Lindsay and Dane, they're a married couple. Lindsay wrote on Working Moms. And so then I was lucky enough to get to read it. And Catherine said, you should really pay attention to this because sometimes, you see things and you're like, oh, what is this about? Mom, kid goes to college, you know. And then because Catherine said, no, you should pay attention, I did. And I loved it. I just thought this is so not in, it doesn't go in the direction that I thought it was going to go in. That was going to feel a little maybe tired or tread territory before. And I felt like this was fresh in so many ways. I've never seen this dynamic or this relationship before where it doesn't skew into like sort of more provocative things that don't feel real. This relationship felt very, very real to me. And it felt like it progressed in a real way over real time that I was very moved by the time I got to the end of the script and thought, I just have to do it. So then I was attached and attached. I wanted to really do the script to the point that I was willing to move mountains to make sure I was able to get there, get to Canada to do it.
Nice. I agree with
Yeah.
everything you said too. What was it
Oh,
like filming in Hamilton, Ontario?
um, well, you know what they say about Hamilton, Ontario. I don't know what they say about it, but it's sort of, it reminds me a lot of where I grew up, which is Syracuse, New York, and I'll just leave it there. But here's what I will say about Hamilton, Ontario. It is the kindest people. The crew, I mean, the crew was from all over, but mainly I'm sure a lot of people from Hamilton, the cast. There's some cast like Aaron Ashmore lives lives around there. It just was great. I don't know if it's funny because sometimes when places, films take place in something that's not a big city, they make it feel really podunky and very provincial. And this doesn't. This feels like Hamilton, quite honestly. It feels like this sort of near the big cities kind of town. And I just felt like every aspect of this movie felt very grounded and very real to me.
Did your scenes with Sarah crack you up? Because Brooke gets away with so much that it's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think people probably would never tolerate that kind of, treatment from a teenager, but I will tell you that I was that teenager. I have a single mom, and when I was a teenager, I was very belligerent and very selfish, and I still apologize to this day to my mother about it. I mean, just to the single moms out there with teenagers, like it's a phase, it'll pass, and then they get a conscience. I mean, I think it's just this way of crying out for wanting, someone to tell them what to do, but they don't know how to ask for it because you're in between like being an adult and being a kid, and you want both. You want your cake and eat it too. And I just I thought Sarah did so well because she's such a sweetheart. She's such a sweet human being. And then the character is just such a jerk.
It's funny you said that because I spoke to Sarah and Charlie and asked them what I should ask you about. And I think they're
Uh,
probably both inside jokes. But here goes. Sarah wanted to know if she's the favorite daughter you've ever had. And she said, because she should be.
She is definitely in a, I would give her and in a top two. And the only reason I'm leaving it too is just so I don't insult anybody I might not be thinking of right now. But she is, I've had a lot of daughters, and sons in my life, but on the TV and films. But Sarah is definitely right now foremost in my mind, my favorite.
And Charlie told me you competed in a rib eating competition while filming Suze and said I should ask if it's true that you've been invited to come compete at this New Year's qualifying match.
That is so funny. I know what he's talking about. I did not compete in a rib eating contest except for with myself when my hotel was next to something called Rib Fest. And I took myself over to Rib Fest because, yes, I'm not proud of it, but I have a real weakness when it comes to ribs. And I was alone with all these like burly guys everywhere, just, drinking beers and eating giant racks of ribs. And I was so intimidated by everybody that I just took my giant rack of ribs to my hotel room and I ate ribs over the next like 3 days.
That's so funny. I had a feeling that had to be an inside joke. Now, most of your scenes were with Charlie. What was it like working with him?
Dreamy. He's just a wonderful actor. Oops, I'm losing my headphones. Here we go. He's a wonderful actor. He's a great human. He's completely authentic. Um, he seems very unself-conscious to me in the sense that, yes, he's aware of his work as an actor, but just as a human being, I think he seems very unself-conscious. So I think the character of Gage, the way he plays him, I just was so relieved, quite honestly, because you don't know what you're going to get when you go to work, right? So, especially, we didn't have the time to have rehearsals or to chemistry read or do anything. We were both cast without ever meeting until the first day in person. And I just turned to the directors, to Lindsay and Dane, and I said, "This absolutely works. He's great. I, he's perfect. I think I can. I mean, I hope I can hold my own and work with this guy because he's great. He makes me want to be very, very, very good. I mean, I want to anyway, but he was very inspiring to work with.
The entire movie was beautifully cast, but you two were just fantastic together. Had great chemistry.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice of you to say because you don't know, like I said, it's a gamble. And I, I really tried very hard, and I'm happy to hear it succeeded to just really dig in and connect, and to they wrote the story, they wrote the story and I just wanted to show up for it in every way.
Now, who of the three of you is most like their character?
I I don't know Sarah's home life well enough. Um, I can't imagine. She's nothing like her character. I would say probably Charlie. I don't know. I mean, except he, comes from a good family and there seems like there's a lot of love there. But I would say, yeah, I would say Charlie.
Have you seen Suze with an audience?
I did finally, for the first time a couple weeks ago, it opened at the Santa Barbara Film Festival in California. And that's where I live. And not in Santa Barbara, but Southern California. And I got to go and see it with an audience. And it was so fun. It was just so fun. I turned to my husband at one point and I said, because I felt like I was having an out of body experience because usually I watch things kind of critically and I just got lost in the movie. So I, that never happens, right? Because we're too busy thinking of all the things like what was happening on the day that we were shooting. Oh, we lost the location that day. Oh, this was hard. It was really hot. It was really cold. It was really, I hurt my leg, whatever it was. Um, and I just got lost in the movie that I turned to my husband and I said, "Is it okay? Is this okay?" And he said, "Honey, it's great." And I said, "I think it's a good movie." And he said, "It's a very good movie." I said, "No, but like I think it's a really good movie." And so it was really fun because I just felt like a spectator. I didn't care that I was in it and, all the ways that we can pick ourselves apart on screen.
That's amazing. And I agree. It's just a fantastic movie. I want to thank you so much for chatting with me today and for your
Thank
wonderful
you.
performance.
Thank you so much. You're so nice to take interest in this film. I really appreciate it. I hope people see it.
Thanks for watching. If you're new here or if you're returning but you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, tap it now, plus the notification bell in the top right-hand corner so you don't miss out on any new celebrity interviews. Also, hit the like button and tell me below in the comments, what are your favorite shows or movies? Who are your favorite stars? I can't promise anything, but I'll keep them in mind for future interviews.